All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Full Buddy Cast presents Garage Night. Garage Night brought to you by Cole Street Brewery, 1627 Cole Street, Enumclaw, Washington. Say hi to the brewmaster, Sean. Tag yourself in there. Get 15% off your drinks. Show him that you've tagged yourself in as well. And put the hashtag Full Buddy Cast social media. Also, please go to Bordeaux Wine Bar. Say hi to them. And if they give you a discount, they give you a discount. If they don't yell at me. Yell at them. But please don't yell at them. Go to Enumclaw Mazalon. Definitely yell at Andy. Yell in his face and smooch him on the lips when you're done, and tell him that Full Buddy Cast, brought you there if you haven't been there before. And then also, Chef Country Kitchen. Say hi to the man, the myth, the legend, Dan Coot Snyder. He's got some questions for us as well. We got a bunch of questions this episode. So we've with no further ado, we got Craig Bentley on the mic.
What up?
Ooh, what up indeed. We don't have Corey Bentley on the mic, but we'll do a nice intro. Wait, Corey Bentley.
Hey, actually, Corey's not here, and I don't know if I should be explaining to people where he's at, but you might see it on WikiLeaks at some point.
Ooh, wow.
So he's at a meeting.
He's at a meeting.
We'll leave it at that.
Got it. He's been wearing a lot of sunglasses lately. I think he still has that $25 gift card to Chef Country Kitchen as well. Please find him in the wild and say...
Funny story with that. I'll bring it up right now because you brought it up.
Yeah.
He was at graduation last night. Enumclaw's graduation.
Yeah.
And he goes, there are so many people here. All it's going to take is one person to come up and talk to me.
Nobody did.
And I go, I don't think any of these people listen to us.
And
nobody came up.
Oh,
that was the part of the story.
Dang it! I thought that was going to be it. Last week, so I was talking to Craig a little bit. Craig, so we played off the QAnon thing a little bit, and so I put it in the title of the show. Some places update it. Like the Billy Costello, if you've been listening to his episodes, he's got some wild episodes, but I misspell his name and his daughter's name and this and that. So I go back in there, and because he texted me, he's like, dude, you spelled my name wrong. Well, you're right. And so I have to edit the title. Now, it edits it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but it doesn't do it like at YouTube. So then it sounds like iHeartRadio. So I have to like delete the episode and then re-upload it. But if it's already been out there, I want to keep those stats intact. So it's like, oh well, sorry if those other ones don't update it. So I jumped on there yesterday to release or 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago to release the episode with Billy, because I had just recorded that with him. And I sometimes will forget, like for Apple Podcasts, it'll ask what season and what show and episode numbers. And so I'm like, oh man, what was the last one? So what I'll do is I'll go into the app, I'll look at the episode from when it was released, and then see what the show number is. And we're like around like season like 14 or 15 or something like that. And it's not there. And I'm like, what the heck? Well, I released it. I just guessed that they probably didn't like the QAnon thing. It was released on Spotify, okay. It was released on YouTube, okay. But you said, was it?
iHeart, I think, was okay also.
Still had it, okay. Yeah. And then on top of that, so I went in there and deleted the QAnon thing. But we do have some QAnon questions. Can't wait to hit those in a little bit. But before we do, I kind of want to touch base with Craig for a moment about the graduation. Congrats to Sid.
Nice.
And
I'll let her know you said it.
Thank you. She was the one that bought the hoodie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she knows what's up.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. And so how was the graduation yesterday?
Overall, not terrible.
Did it feel good because it was the last one?
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's, her class, which I don't know what it's been like since we've been there, but her class is 3 something.
Yeah.
But they do double now. Like,
Yeah,
how
that's what they did
we
last
were
2
always
years.
in alphabetical order.
Yes. Yeah.
And you were always one person at a time, and it took forever. They don't, well, first of all, they don't even do alphabetical order anymore. They just pick somebody they want to walk with. And then second, they go from both sides of the stage, and it goes so much
so
faster.
fast. Yeah, it's like shuffling a deck of cards. You've got one teacher on one side and the other teacher on the other side, and they see this, and it's very fast. Who do you, so Light Body did it like a few years ago.
You mean as far as the announcing?
Yeah.
So it was a teacher, last name Stunkel, I believe, and then Bastings.
Bastings, nice. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, he's a neighbor. He's down the road. But
I felt bad. He had on his side, which is the side that Sid was on, a lot of the longer, harder names to pronounce.
Yes. It always is fun to see that. Lightbody made it fun a few years ago because he sounded like an announcer. He got really into it. He sounded like he was like announcing like the Sonics, and he'd be like Craig Bentley.
Yeah, I think they tried that a little bit.
Okay,
last time.
yeah, a little fun.
Yeah,
a lot more fun. Keeps it exciting. So it's always a packed house. Weather
was good.
Weather hung well.
There was people standing. Yeah, no, I meant it was the entire stands, which I'm sure. I'm assuming it's the same. It wasn't the same area where Kenzie graduated, because when Kenzie graduated 4 years ago, it was during COVID.
Right.
So it was completely different. So I haven't been there since this, but it was the entire stands. They had chairs set up like at the 50-yard line for like, well, my parents sat down there, for instance, like ADA or some of the older people that couldn't walk up the stands. And then in the far end zone by the field house, they had bleachers out, but was completely packed. And then on the visiting side, they had bleachers out that was completely packed. And then the stage was about almost to the end zone in the opposite way. So if you were sitting back in the bleachers by the field house, you were literally looking 100 yards to the stage.
So it's packed house.
Yes, it was packed house.
And you were able to sit where?
We were like
on the field.
No, I was not.
I got the field both 2 years in a row.
I did not. I could have. I probably should have just went down.
Wife's a teacher. She should be able to do that.
Nah, we sat about the 30-yard line, like 2 or 3 rows from the top.
Okay, not bad.
It was a good view though. I mean, you could see the stage. You got good pictures of Sid.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all.
Yeah.
Really matters.
You got the profile pic.
Yeah.
The side profile. She's got to probably wave at you a little bit. Well, that's cool. Congratulations to Sid. Sid, I actually played this. It's a Chris Rock rendition of the graduation advice, but it was I think it was 99. I think it was your grade where that guy would walk like he was reading. It was like a song with a little beat melody behind it.
It was my class because we have it in my whatever annual thing we did,
where it gives
like wear sunscreen, blah blah blah.
And then remember the Chris Rock one?
I haven't not heard the Chris Rock one.
Well, there's no sex in the champagne room, no matter what a stripper tells you.
Oh, okay, yes, I have.
Remember that one?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
so it came out after that, and it was the graduated the GED class. Like it was a whole spoof of it. So I played it for my son Kane. And he got like halfway through it. He's like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, this was great back in the day. But anyway, congratulations, Sid. Good job. And congratulations to you, Dad.
Yeah.
By the way, happy Father's Day weekend to you.
Oh, to you also.
Thank you very much. And it's got to feel great again, sending another child off into the world. And you're kicking this one out too immediately? Was that the plan?
No, she'll probably be there till she's 40.
Oh, taking care of everyone though.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, unlike Kenzie, she'll probably be around for a while, which is fine because she's gonna be going to school and stuff. So
yeah, okay.
Is what it is.
And what's her goal? What's her dream?
She wants to be a teacher.
Teacher.
And you know what's funny is, a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, it's cool." You know how you send yourself letters from like 5th grade?
Yes.
So as a senior, which I still think's awesome. I know we did it. I still love the fact that teachers are doing that today. She got letters this last week, I think, from herself that she wrote in 5th and 6th grade.
So cool, yeah.
In 5th and 6th grade, she had said that she wanted to be a teacher. So that just kind of like, it meant she absolutely lit up when she realized
this was
something she wanted a long time ago. So, now you just go out and
finish it. Not a TikTok influencer?
No.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Not a YouTube streamer?
No, I mean, told her that they would make way more money than a teacher.
Yeah,
But-
$100 $100 more. Father's Day plans for you. What you got going on?
Probably the same as always. Lunch with Carrie's dad, dinner with my dad. Same thing we do for Mother's Day also.
And what do you guys usually? Is it barbecue or is it?
It's usually whatever that person wants.
And what that person needs and whatever makes them happy and maybe possibly sets them free.
Possibly, yeah.
That's good. And so my Father's Day, I'm going to a wedding. Shout out Jed. My cousin, it's in Oregon, so we're leaving here and then heading down to Oregon. We do have people at the place, though, so don't try to rob us at the house, okay? Be careful. But anyway, we've got... And did I tell you about the cops getting called? Have I told you this story yet?
For cops getting called where?
Dude, okay, so I don't think I told... This has been a podcast. So last Thursday night, you left. We record.
Yeah.
Right? And we're like, it's finally a nice night out. And it's going to be consistently nice. Because I think Monday it rained, Tuesday...
Yeah. You were going to do a fire.
Gonna do a fire. I
That's
invited
right.
you.
You did.
That's right.
You
You
did.
never showed up.
No,
Which
I did not.
I always invite you to stuff. You don't show up. You never invite me to stuff. And I try to show up. So...
It's like this perfect song and dance we're doing.
I like it. So we had Shekinah over and Veronica over, and Veronica brought her daughter, and then our friend Mel and Craig, and then me and my wife. And anyway, we're playing music, having a little hot dog roast. We got the fire going, and just chatting, laughing, having some drinks, and next thing you know, it's like. It's later in the day than at night, evening that you think it is because it's still light out, but it's very, it's light outside, but it's still darker or still later in the evening. Anyway, around like 9:30, I realized this. Turned down the music a bit, like 10% down to like 10%. Like barely just a little bit, but it's just four of us. At this point, I think Mel and Craig had taken off, and so I almost drank an entire bottle of Buffalo Trace. So that was one thing, which was crazy to me that I even got that far. So then like there's a knock on the door at like 10:30, and there's cops, and the cops are like, "Hey, wish you guys were we wish we could party too, but you guys need to knock it down." And I'm like we've been way louder, way later. Like, this makes zero sense that the cops would call with four of us in the backyard. Came to find out later, the neighbor was like, "Hey, did you hear all that yelling behind your place?" Like, which I didn't. It was like kind of kitty corner. We had somebody just kind of going off, like yelling and shouting at people. And so I think when they got called, either it sounded like it was coming from our place or if it was, they kind of got it mistaken. But that was weird. So I don't know if I'm on the police blotter or not, but I've never had the cops called on me like that before. Have you ever had like a raging pool party?
Not to my house. I've been at an area that we've been partying that has got
like a high school party.
No, I'm talking about as an adult.
Oh, how did that feel?
Awesome. No, it felt awkward. But the difference is you can go out and talk to them and be like, okay, cool. We're at a high school party, everybody like hides.
Yeah.
You know what
or
I
the
mean?
runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it is what it is. We'll do it.
And I also think that perhaps maybe we weren't called on, but we had some rigs out in front of the driveway. And I wonder, this is the kind of the high school time where the people are having parties right before the end of, summer or in a school heading into summer. So I wonder if cops just pretend they got called. Where they're like, "Oh, we got called," but they're just trying to see if they can catch anyone underage drinking or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know if Enum Claw's that smart.
Or buggy, like where they just get buggy with it. But yeah, anyway, Father's Day weekend going to be at my cousin Jed's wedding, heading out, and then glad I checked in with him because I was planning on wearing a nice, golf outfit, so to speak, like shorts with a nice tucked in polo, like almost like on some courses, if you don't show up that way, you can't play. Enum Claw, you show up in freaking mud boots and a parka, you're fine. But
I'd like to see you play in mud boots and a parka one time.
yeah, I bet you would. But anyway, I texted him. He's like, "No, it's formal. If you got a suit, wear a suit." And I don't own a suit, so
Does a suit shirt count? You got one of those?
I'm sure you got like 3 of those, actually. That's good. But yeah, so we went shopping last night, and yeah, I'm excited. Got some new threads. But anyway, we'll get into the questions right now. Let's keep it Father's Day related. We're going to go Scary Skellies right off the bat.
Ooh, you got some in today.
Yeah,
huh?
I messaged him and I said, because on May 23rd morning, it's almost been a month and hitting the think tank on any Scary Skellies. No response. June 6th, hey, Garage Night questions, no response. Today at 12:30, I said, need questions for Craig and I today. Oh, wait, you don't do that anymore. If I had to fire him up a little bit.
And then he did it.
And he said, all right, let's do it. And he said, and somebody else messaged me. Was it you that messaged me that said save some or no, I think it was an anonymous questioner we asked for, they told the story last week about about going on a like a trip with someone and then just leaving them there when they're annoying.
Oh, we got some more questions.
Got some more from them,
anonymous.
from the QAnon.
From QAnon?
Yep. And then also
hashtag QAnon.
Holly's got us some as well. So this is a good Father's Day question. Hey, any tips for coaching your own kid in sports? My tip is don't coach your own kid in sports. Coach another team. Don't coach your kid. Kids ain't going to listen to you. The kid's seen you in your underwear. Kids seen you like lose it on an inanimate object where you're trying to like work on a fence and this thing's not working, and they just see you throw like a huge toddler fit. They don't respect you anymore. They don't listen to you. The other kids listen still. They're like, oh, it's an adult. I got to listen to him. The freaking kids do not listen. Your own kids will not listen to you. I coached my kid in T-ball, and I remember counting off, like, okay, line up against them, and we're going to count. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I got to, I'm like, where is my 8th kid here? And it was my kid out behind the backstop playing in dirt, not listening to me. You don't listen to me. So do not coach your own kids. You can coach in that league, but just don't coach your own kids. Go ahead, Craig.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, you did coach your own kid. I get that. But
I think as long as you have the biggest thing, if you're going to coach your own kids, have a separation on the field coach. As soon as you get in the car, you got to be dad or mom or whatever. But if you bring coaching into after the thing, which I did, it starts becoming negative.
Have done. But keep going.
Nope. Did. But yeah, as soon as you don't have that separation,
how do you do that though? See,
it's hard.
Yeah,
it's very hard.
Well,
but if you're gonna coach, that would be my one suggestion. You have to be able to separate that.
So how? I mean, like, what do you change your tone? Do you like?
You leave anything that they screwed up on or did while on the field as a player. Leave that on the field. When you get into the car to head home, you have to be like dad.
Dad is that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm remembering what happened on the field, and I'm like, hey, make sure you keep your glove down and you're charging.
But that's coach. Dad needs to be like, hey, you'll get him next time. You know what I mean? Especially depending on the age, right?
So you encouraged your child? Silliness.
Well, depending on the age, yes.
Okay, so you just sit there. Now,
but I'm assuming he's talking younger because his child is younger. So I'm relating it to his
I get
question.
that. And for other people out there that might be having those same questions. Now, Jared, here's what I like. What I'm gonna riff off of what Craig just said. That's really good. Be the parent, be the dad. What I usually do as the dad, to get in the car, hey, do the encouragement. Hey, that you played well there. I like this play. I liked what you did there. And then I say, but your coach is an idiot. And here's where he or she should be training you. And that ump was an idiot, or that ref was an idiot, and here's what they should have called. But then you talk bad about the coach because you got to keep that dominance up. Now, for you, that might be fun and funny for the kid. You just be, man, your coach is an idiot because he should have told you to do this. And then they get their dad back. Did you ever call yourself an idiot?
No, not my life. Why would I do that?
Like my dad would make us laugh because he was his own boss. He owned his own company, and so he would say, we're kids, and he's like, man, my boss. If it wasn't for my boss, I'd quit. My boss sucks. And it's like, well, it's you. So yeah, I think you should do that. Bring some jokes in.
That'd be funny.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Did any parents, now that we're talking about coaching your own kid, did you feel like any parents felt that you played your kid more than you should have, and you should have played their kid instead?
In certain positions, yes, but I would say 85% of the time, the feedback we got from parents, both myself and Brad, was that we were way harder on our kids than we should have been compared to some of the other players.
Oh, so you were more like on the field.
Correct.
Harder on them. Did you feel like you had to make it look like you weren't playing favorites in front of those parents, so you kind of were harder on your kids, so it looked like you were like, if you gave, let's say you gave, Elizabeth, like not a talking to, but like, hey, you got to keep your head down, and then Sid, you got to make sure you're backing up when they hit the ball. Take one step back first, charge it later. Are you?
I don't think there was the necessity of making it equal, but there was, and I was pretty fortunate. The honest truth is, on the teams that I coached while Sid was playing, she was generally at the middle towards the top of the team because she was good at what I was coaching. So I think where it becomes an issue is a coach/parent that doesn't see that their kid is towards the bottom and might need a little more help. When they start putting that player as a player in front of other kids that are actually better than they are, that's when I think you start getting the daddy ball, mommy ball, whatever you want to call it.
That's what I call Jamie.
And that's when I think it becomes an issue, right? And again, that's just something as a parent coach you have to learn, and you have to understand that, because somebody's always going to complain about a parent coaching. But the bottom line is, most parents don't want to do it, and then they complain about it. So I've always been if you want to complain about it, come out and help. Come do something. And most parents don't.
I like that, the parent-coach aspect, making it think about that. And now I'm going to kind of also flip it. Now, let's say sometimes coaches can be inspirational to their players, right? Where they actually will listen to the coach more than they would listen to their own parent, especially if they feel the coach knows a little bit more. And so maybe as you can do that too, but in off the field activities like homework, or perhaps they're getting in trouble at school or with the law, or maybe even with the spouse, with your spouse. And so you're supporting your spouse. You say, hey, this is coach talking. Your dad's an idiot. If you were my kid, and then you go that way.
I think that's a really fine line that you don't want to cross.
No, I'm talking about your own kid.
Oh, your own kid. I thought you were talking about this as a coach.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way.
I just want to make sure I point that out. I thought we were going.
No, you flip it.
I got you. You're still talking about the coach
of your own kid.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
So
I'm following you now.
Okay. But yes, and then if you're feeling real brave, if you feel that there's someone not getting parented right, that's not your kid, as the coach, call a timeout on the field, bring him in, and say, hey, Steven, your dad's an idiot. Don't listen to him. Have you had to do that, though? Have you ever not that your dad's an idiot, but been like...
We've instructed players to tone out and not look at their parents while they're playing. Because there's a lot of parents that make their kids worse than they really are because they're scared.
Right.
Or they are looking for approval. And if they don't look up in the stands and see approval, they're instantly not wanting to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So we have had conversations with the team as a whole.
Team as a whole, as
players.
Parents are in there too?
No.
Okay.
As players, letting them know, hey, when you're on this field, you basically, in a roundabout way, you do you. Don't worry about anybody outside these lines, right? Because we've all seen it. I don't care who you talk to at what sport. There are parents that are horrible.
Yes.
Absolutely horrible.
Yes.
And
Garbage.
It sucks because most of them know that and talk about other parents the same way, but don't realize how much it actually affects their kids while the kids are on the field. It's amazing to me that some parents can be so blind.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, we got deep there. Corey would have been eating popcorn and loving that. We're going to move to the next question. We're going to move from Scary Skellies. We're going to save these because I've noticed that sometimes he likes to, really go big early, and then it takes a few weeks. So we're going to hold off on a little bit of the others. We're going to go to Holly Graff. Holly Graff says, okay, since you're both married, I need some wedding tips from the groom's perspective. So what was or wasn't important to you for your wedding?
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Did you prefer her to write her own vows, or did you not like it because that meant you had to write your own vows?
We just chose not to write our own vows. I don't remember if it was a preference. We just didn't do it.
See, the best thing, if you don't make a promise, you don't have to keep anything. So making a vow, now you got to live up to all those standards.
I think the vows that we had were just your typical
through sickness and health.
The typical vows that you would take. We did not write anything separate.
I think Holly is too creative for that, so she's probably gonna get make it fun, and she'll probably blubber through it and cry through it. And then Tony's gonna, he's gonna do good. He's creative. He's funny too. I've done 2 weddings. I've had two marriages, so I have double the advice. The first marriage, we wrote our own vows, and I don't remember any of it. I remember the wedding went on for a while. I remember it was 90-something degrees outside, and everyone was in a tux, and it was just hot and just sweaty and miserable. So from a groom's perspective, on my second one, it was not a cheap wedding, but we went to Ruston Way. We reserved a chapel for a few hours. We only invited about 50 people. We got a nice cake, and then we went to eat later. We kept it simple. Sometimes you get keeping it simple is way more fun. I just recently went to a reception. I wasn't even invited to the wedding. Simple. It was fun. Reception was great. And so, I don't know. I would say just keep it simple. Tony more than we do, but it's just ask him the questions. But yeah, Craig is right. From a man's perspective in general, when I go to a wedding, I just pray it's 15 minutes and that's it. There's, just some thought-provoking thought. I can bring it for myself for my own marriage, but way too long. And as someone who's performed a wedding, you know how I like to talk, and I make those 15 minutes, 45 minutes of just me up there cracking jokes the whole time, just improvising. But since you're both married, it's a wedding tips from the groom's perspective. I don't know how many bridesmaids you plan on having. Some women have 8 friends that they throw in there. And so then that makes it harder for us to kind of okay, who are we and how am I and how is it going to be my cousin now that I haven't talked to in a year? I don't know. How many groomsmen did you have?
Let's see. Well, Carrie's got 3 sisters and a sister-in-law, and that's who she had. So 4.
4. Okay. My first marriage, we had she had 12 bridesmaids, and I was shoot, I gotta round 12 dudes up. It was my brother, my couple friends, my uncles, my cousins. I probably should have done a drawing contest to be in my wedding, because my second wedding was nope. We had a witness for me, which was my buddy Adam, not my brother. My brother was the best man on the first wedding, and that marriage didn't last. So I'm not gonna I think it was him, but I stayed with the Adams, and it was my buddy Adam instead. She had a gal buddy as well, and then we had Kane was my groomsman, and Matt and Megan were the bridesmaids, and so. had a good time there. So I don't know. Have fun with it. Keep it simple. But what wasn't important to me was, and the other thing is like you want to keep it even sometimes, right? Because you're like, well, if you have 30 guests, then I need 30 guests. And that's only because you don't want to seem like no one showed up to your side of the wedding, So be careful with that too, and maybe just be like, oh, they're both of our friends, so they're gonna sit on your side rather than my side.
They still do sides?
I don't know. I've been married for almost 8.5 years now, second marriage. Shout out to me, but like, I don't know. It's been a while.
I mean, I get the front row grandparents and parents,
Yeah,
typically sitting on separate sides, but I've never totally understood the difference between a groom's side and a bride's side. Like, why does that matter?
I don't know either,
Unless
for
it's tradition.
tradition.
I don't know. No.
Dude, I went to a funeral of celebration of life, however you want to call it, for my cousin the other day, and it was kind of that same thing on like, there's an aisle. What side do I sit on? I mean, obviously, I'm going to sit on this side, but then it's like,
what is that? Would that aisle be like a friend or family aisle?
Yeah, that's the thing I was trying to figure out. Like, is it friend or family? Is it, and like, because his wife sat on the same side as our family, and then the other side, I think it was friend. I do not know, but it was. I mean, it was beautiful. It was great. It was like one of those. It was just like crushing, but good. One of those. But yeah. So wedding's a little different as well. Anyway, thank you very much, Holly, for the question. Hopefully we didn't screw that up too much. Just alcohol. Just need some alcohol there.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't have that at our wedding.
Yeah. By the way, you sent out something to me on the text chain, which is very sweet to get, and not on the Facebook page. But you're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had these guys? Or these guys are, looks like we inspired our friends at New Heights, which would be Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey. They have a new beer they just announced called Garage Beer. Coincidence? With a Q. I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, with a Q and on. I don't think so. Would it be crazy if we knew someone who, we need to make a friend of someone that brews beer.
True.
Where they can like name their own beer. They're not like handcuffed to societies. Like what they can just be like, hey, Garage Night Beer.
Which that's pretty close. I that's why I said I think that, maybe.
Well, they saw it and they took it.
Well, true. Maybe it got back to them.
And if we would have had this already in place with, I don't know, a random person that has a brewery in Enumclaw, Washington, we probably, all three of us, well, four of us with Corey, if he ever decided to show up again, we could sue these guys.
Probably not.
Well,
we probably would have called it Garage Night, right? They called it Garage,
and that's why that's why I know they listen.
And the picture, I sent you that picture also, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're literally in a garage holding a keg.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean,
what I'm hoping is that they, as they hear this,
yes,
which they're obviously
listening.
I just want to get the beer and try it. I'd love to plug the beer. It's not anywhere. The closest place is like Montana, maybe. They don't have it around here.
Yeah.
So
bring it out here to Enumclaw, Washington, and here, open invite. I can understand if you would be intimidated and you don't want to come out here and talk because we caught ya. Gotcha. But Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey, open invite to come on the podcast. Promote your beer. We'll let you do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No bigs. All right, back into the next question. We've got the QAnon question. Well, first, before we get to QAnon, I did get a question from Dan Coote Snyder. Again, these are all Patreons. They get priority when they are. I don't know if the QAnon is a Patreon because I don't know. But he said, what's the future of the podcast? Any chance of streaming it like Bobby Altoff and other podcasters? Now, I think he's talking about having a video, like a video vlog-ish type of a podcast. But first, let's tackle what's the future of the podcast, Craig?
I've been trying to get it canceled for 3 years, and I'm still here. I still showing up, making memories for the 4 listeners that we have.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's
all.
That's where we're at.
That's all where we're at right now. Maybe get that 5th listener here. Fingers crossed, 2025. But here it is, Dan. I know that you've been very bountiful in the blessings that you've given us with the food truck. Thank you very much. Shout out to you for the Bentley special, which is the meatloaf panini, and the Bentley burrito, which is the size of Corey's head, and my favorite, though, the Travis Kenny on DoorDash. You can order its pasta dish; it's delicious. Also, the tea quesadilla. Other ones are good too, but once we kind of phase out of this aspect of it, like, you can't just keep. I mean, thank you, and keep it going. But if you're looking to introduce a new dish, let's say in a few months, like let's let these breathe for a bit. I'm thinking like maybe cancel them or cancel Full Buddy or some dish that could hopefully resonate in getting us canceled.
That'd be awesome.
Craig, you push that?
Yeah, especially like if he keeps a tally. Always something like if he decided to sell one a week, we'd just end the show.
Yeah, just one. Just one. Just get that quota of one a week. Or, if we wanted to get crazy with it, maybe we have somebody who gets a Full Buddy cast punch card, and once they've punched enough meals from Oh Chef Country Kitchen, then they get to write the name of the next dish on the back. We put that into a hat, and we draw out the next, maybe let's just say by January 1st, we'll pull out what the name of a new dish is going to be. Something like that. Keep it creative. Keep it fun. But anyway, video-wise for the podcast, this is a hobby. I love it. But I love what I love about it, which is it used to be obsession and passion and intimacy with erotica.
Don't look at me. I don't know where you're going with this.
No. It used to be something I really wanted to push. And then I had Billy on, I think, at one point, and I had this happen where people say, like, I run into them, and they're like, "Oh, you should have me on. We'll go viral." And I'm like, dude, nah. Like, everyone has great stories, but there's not a story that I truly believe that will go viral. And think of, like, the craziest Dateline NBC, like, crazy stories. Those go on a TV show, but they never go viral. You're rarely seeing anything go viral. So, and then if that happens, it like, what does that even mean? Like, why would I want, like, what would I do with my life at that point? We're going viral at that point. What, I gotta go find some more, like, crazy stories? Like, Full Buddy Cast is what it is. Full, all the buddies hanging out, podcasting. And I enjoy that. And so I know that people, I remember Holly in the past said, you guys got to do video. I'd like to see you guys laugh and crack up and see your reactions. And those would be fun, but the payoff of me sitting there editing video and audio together and rendering it, and that's a process. All that takes time, and I don't want to do any of that. Like, I don't want to sit there for 8 hours and make sure it's perfectly synced up and lined up, and we can get the perfect for 12 people to watch it and then be like, oh, remember when Craig said this funny thing, and then they see Travis's reaction? Like, no. Like, people, the truth is I can understand. I've had friends get involved in racing cars to, doing anything. And you can tell when they've been in it a while because you start bringing up stuff to them about how to make it better, or don't you have a drive that you want to be? It's there, but it's not important to me anymore. So, video would be cool. If I had a crew here that was free and wanting to just, video this, and we had Bobby come out one time and video it, and we got he was here for like an hour. We were sweating our balls off in this freaking podcast room too. And it turned out to be like a 3-minute video, maybe not even that, minute and a half. Well done. But it's like for what, 45 people to watch that and go, and then 8 of those people like it. Like, not enough payoff, not looking to go viral, and nothing is going to make us viral unless and even let's say we had the biggest star. Let's say we had I would love to have like a Shane Gillis on. He's hilarious. He's funny. But let's go bigger. Let's go like some Hollywood actor. Let's just say we got Ryan Reynolds on here. What? And then it goes on, and we'd be right back to normal once he left. Like, it would be so not worth it to me. Craig?
Oh, whatever. I don't think anybody wants to watch us. I'll tell you this: out of those 4 people that listen, probably only 3 would watch.
True.
Maybe 2.
And how far would they get into it?
Yeah.
They just, okay. Like, so audio, I'm completely fine with you doing your chores and you chopping your tomatoes and you driving to work to be a nurse somewhere and just listening to us. I'm cool with that. If you're cool with that, I'm cool with that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And even if it's fixed, what's it going to do? Run for another 10,000 miles and you got to go to Tyson or Aaron and get another one. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Last one. We're going to go to the QAnon question. I got to find it here.
Hashtag QAnon.
Hashtag QAnon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got this message. Her assumption was right. Okay. Oh my goodness. He sent, I love it, but these are things that we can, like, he said, read over the next several. So, and I like this, but he sent me like 20 of these things. All right. So we're just going to go from the very beginning. Okay.
So our QAnon listener is actually doing what we've asked the other 4 listeners to do for like the last 3 years.
Yeah. He said something like, all right, anonymous question, 8:02 a.m. I was wanting to cancel all week. The questions I send don't have to be anonymous. They don't have to be anonymous. He was supposed to make that clear. I've asked my friends for some anonymous questions and gotten back. However, these all definitely sound like they're just more of me. All right. Well, I will clarify with this person to see if he wants me to, but it sounds like he's asking his friends. And he says, depending on your answers, you may gain more listeners.
Whew.
Well,
let me know what I need to answer to not do that.
Can't wait to go viral. All right. I think you should just save all of these and then answer 1 or 2 a week. And now you can say you have multiple people sending you anonymous questions. I'll keep sending them as I get them.
That.
Clip that. Okay. What is the worst place that you could black out? Worst place that you have blacked out? What did or would happen in these situations? How do you get out of them? Example is blacking out at a Husky game, and he didn't go through that. Have you blacked out before?
I'd have to say yes, but it's probably been at my own house.
So it's
I've never blacked out like somewhere that I didn't know where I was at. Put it that way.
So you were safe. You were like, I feel safe enough to drink heavily to where I'm okay. If I black out, I black out. Your goal isn't to black out. Your goal is just to have fun at a safe spot, and then it just ends up happening.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes
a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Well, that probably absolutely, because I don't drink hard alcohol a lot. But it would take me to drink quite a bit to do that. It's mostly like, hey, I'm tired, and then I'm done. Other than just blacking out, like not knowing anything. I have no idea when the last time I was. It's probably been a long time.
Yeah, it's been for me. It's been. I mean, okay, so last Thursday I did get a little, like I said, Buffalo Trace, and the horse races came up, and both Veronica and Shekinah had not been, and I guess when Shekinah was leaving, I was like, "You're going to the horses," giving her a goodbye hug. You're going, and she was kind of like doing the whole get away from me. Carrie's done that.
Yes, Carrie hates hugs.
Right. And she's like kind of like doing that. And Jamie was not too thrilled with how aggressive I was hugging Shekinah and telling her to go to the horse track with me or with us, because Jamie was going to go too. And then the next morning I was talking to Veronica, and she's like, and I looked at my text, because that night I guess I was texting her to see if she got home okay. But I also said at like 11:45 at night, "Are you going to the horses tomorrow?" So I was super like on it with the whole horses thing. So I don't think I really black out there. My main blackout story I've told on the podcast before is one of those weird, crazy, funny, like, but I don't know if I like sharing this story. I didn't know. Four Loko cut up with me. And I think we've talked about the Four Loko story.
The old Four Loko.
The old Four Loko, not the new diet Four. It's like a One Loko. But the Four Loko might as well be like a 4 to 5 star chicken pad thai. Four Loko would kill you if it could. It was a sneak attack. But anyway, I just remember drinking it, and it was me and this dude who's way cooler than me. He's younger than me. Then this hot chick came over. We were all in the garage together. This is in the first marriage, because he lived out in the garage, and I thought they were drinking the Four Loko with me. They were faking their sips, so I just pounded a Four Loko can by myself. Next morning I wake up, I'm tucked into this pull-out couch, clothes on, but they're both naked, and she's sleeping in between us, and he's asleep, she's asleep, and turns out that they like had it, made love, and in this process, his head may have been laying on my chest when they were making love. And then since then, I don't think I've ever blacked out again. That was gross for me and weird for me. And not something that I'm proud of.
Okay.
Have I told you that story?
No.
It's a lot wilder. But yeah, it was not my best moment. I'm the type of guy that gets myself into situations by accident. Like, that sounds like a great idea. Let's drink. Let's hang out. We were playing like Dead Island. We're having a great time. Life is good. Wake up the next morning with 2 naked people next to me, and I'm like, okay, I got myself way and over my head on that one. Didn't mean to. Okay, Veronica's Hot Topics. Veronica had sent me a message. She goes, butt plugs for dudes to keep you from pooping your pants. Would you do it? Like, would you, if you thought you might poop your pants, like for me, if I'm in Vegas, would I consider plugging myself just so I don't lose my bet with you? Would you?
No.
Me neither.
100%.
No.
That's not even a thought in my mind.
But do you think it would work?
No. I don't think it would work either.
If you have to poop, you push that thing out.
I think so.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I wouldn't want to try it. I'm not looking to try that. I'm not looking to be like, okay, oh, we got kids coming in. This is great. It's a great time for this to happen. We just got saved by the kids. Who's here right now? And who else is outside?
Mom.
And why is she letting you in here?
Oh, I just came in.
Oh, cool. All right. You heard us talking about craziness. We got.
I wasn't even listening. All I heard was voices. I was like,
That's what most people say.
Yeah, that's not. They don't even listen to us either. We're surprised if even how people got into this area. All right. We got saved by the kid on that one. You ready to move on?
Sure.
You don't want to talk about that at all?
Well, I think it's a no. What's the point?
You think it would work?
No, I don't.
A little bit?
No, I don't think so.
Like a little bit.
I don't think so. I don't know. I wouldn't want to know. I don't care.
Are you willing to try?
No. I am not.
Me neither. If you knew, let me ask you this. We have our bet. For those that haven't heard it yet, our bet is if anyone poops their pants, they have to play a round of golf in a diaper.
I'd rather play a round of golf in a diaper than use a butt plug.
But what if you knew it was going to work?
Nope.
I'd probably use it. If I knew it was going to work, if I knew for sure it's either poop in my pants or for sure it would work, I would use it because I don't want to lose that bet.
I don't care enough about the bet to.
I'm
dead serious.
So you would.
I don't think you could ever guarantee it's going to work.
But no, I'm just saying. I'm saying it's going in this instance, in this scenario, it definitely will work, or you're definitely pooping your pants.
I think duct tape would work better.
Would you duct tape your booty hole shut?
If I knew it would work, yes.
What if you had the butt plug in and then you taped that in?
Oh, now yeah, that's a huge difference.
What if you used plumber's putty around it and really sealed it?
No.
Okay. She really wanted me to ask that question. It was cracking her up like crazy. She's like, "You got to ask it. You got to ask it. You got to ask it." And I did. So here we are. And you need to become a Patreon. Frickin' Veronica. Yeah, you used to be. I see you falling off. There's somebody else that's falling off, and I keep calling him out. He's like, I don't know. Shout outs. Craig?
Oh. Yeah, I got him.
You don't have any?
No.
Sid.
Fine. I'll shout out Sid. Sid and all the graduating people.
And the team that graduated. Anybody else on the team that graduated from the team?
Oh, yeah. A whole bunch of girls graduated from the team.
Do you remember their names anymore?
Nope.
Or you forgot them all?
And a shout out to all the fathers coming up for Father's Day.
Yeah, there we go. No, I don't got any shout outs. I shout out all the people that asked us the questions. QAnon, thank you very much. Dan, Holly, and Scary Skellies. I'm going to save some of these for next time, just so we have something. I have to keep hitting you guys up. Let's shout out my cousin Jed for getting married. And we'll be also shouting out here the people that are on the Patreon. Go to patreon.com if you're a listener. Full Buddy Cast, one word. Kellen Hall, Hollygraph, Adam Kenny Art, Seth Loop. Saw him drive by at the end of our last recording. That was cool to talk to him. You don't get to see him. You see him all the time.
I see him daily.
And I went to Chef Kai. I went to an event where Chef Kai was the what's that called? The caterer. And I accidentally called him Seth. Felt bad.
That's actually funny.
Why?
Because he's been on the show.
I know. I felt bad. I was like, because he kind of gave me crap about on a Facebook post. So I gave it back to him. I gave it back to him there. He gave it back to me there. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm cool. I'm just joking, Seth. And it was like, oh man, like all the cool stuff I did then that became undone. I'm like, I'm sorry. He goes, it's okay. My brother's a lot better looking than me. I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I was like, yeah,
you got out of it then.
Not really, because I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I still apologize, like an idiot. Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Chicane Sarver, Jared Skelly for the Scary Skellies, Ben Illman, Jamie Roberts. Shout out to Jamie. Man, I haven't seen him for a while.
I see him almost daily also.
Give him a hug for me. Kiss him on the cheek and tell him it was for me.
Yeah, probably not.
Jamie Kenny, Apollo Doodle, Jackson Zydhook, Sasha Carey Lynn, Thomas Savageau. And by the way, Thomas, fudge, dude. I keep calling Thomas Edison. It's not. Edison City Ale House in Tacoma is no more. I think this weekend or the next weekend, they're having a rip-roaring party. So if you haven't been there, go there. But after like this month, they are no more. So bummer. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. It was fun visiting you guys. Inflation has been brutal to the brewing folks. Lostwoods as well. Had Lostwoods here with Sean for Brouhaha. They closed their, I think it was in Buckley. They had their tap house there. That's
Memorial
gone.
Day was their last day.
Yeah. Crazy. Sad. Thomas Savageau, Councilman Anthony Wright. Not Cancelman unless you want to cancel this podcast, and then you get Craig's vote every time you run for anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. He'll
run on that platform.
Would you? Would you go?
I'll stand up there with you.
Would you go knock on doors with him?
Absolutely.
Cameron Stratton, the real estate agent tycoon, Katri Hoban, Jackie Van Hoof, and Dan Coates Snyder. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. Keep sending us your questions and your questions. And I just want to say, again, happy Father's Day as well, and happy graduation to those that are graduating. Have a great week.